year 2000, director Wong Kar-wai released In the Mood for Love, a romance film based in 1960s Hong Kong. The film follows Chow and Mrs. Chan, two neighbors who have just moved in next to each other. With their spouses both cheating on them, the two form a strong bond over their circumstances. But the way Wong Kar-wai develops and displays their relationship is very interesting. The director understands that the audience is smart enough to catch up on things after they've happened, like a time change that isn't highlighted. He does, however, intentionally mislead the audience by disguising a second meaning underneath the apparent conversation. Each conversation, on a surface level, advances the story and the statuses of their marriage. Behind those conversations forms a budding relationship. Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan sit down for dinner together for the first time. Both the audience and the characters are aware that they're both being cheated on. With who still remains a mystery. The conversation starts out with a front of buying presents for their spouses, but slowly breaks apart as they come forward with the idea that their spouses are cheating on them with each other. This scene slowly eases into the dialogue about the affairs, but the next scene starts without context. It's not until they break character that the audience understands that they are acting out how they imagine their spouse's affair could have started. This scene sets up the formula for how many conversations between our protagonists will play out through the film. First, the conversation itself. Starting with the scene playing out, the audience is unsure whether the characters are playing themselves or the other's partner. Then the context of the scene is exposed afterwards. This then forces the audience to reanalyze what they've just seen. At face value, there's an auditory story, but the real story is told through looks, glances, and stares alone. Wong Kar-wai formulates his conversations like this to make sure you're actively evaluating the characters. Constantly analyzing keeps you engaged and invested in the relationships throughout the film. As their feelings unravel, you root for them. You want them to indulge. By the end of the film, the temptation of forbidden love is so strong that you want nothing more from this film. 1 hour into the film, we come to a scene where Mrs. Chan rehearses confronting her husband. The audience at this point is aware of Wong Kar-wai's formula, but the framing of this scene is different. We almost always know that they're acting out a scene by seeing both Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan. The withholding of who she is talking to teases us with the idea that it may be her husband. We want and hope that this is the turning point for Chow and Chan's relationship. Unfortunately, Wong Kar-wai has fooled us again. It's not obvious when Chow and Chan are playing their roles, but from this point on, we no longer see their love growing, but falling apart. Role-playing becomes too real, and the truth is no longer bearable. The audience has invested so much time and thought into what this relationship could be, but are now forced to watch it crumble before them. Wong Kar-wai could have told a story about two lonely neighbors falling for each other in the absence of their spouses. But instead, he made a film about fantasies conflicting with reality. The forbidden love isn't just dramatic, it's realistic. Hiding your wants and desires behind a mask is something we all do. But at the end of this film, at the end of the day, we're reminded you can't always get what you want.